Okay. Okay, let's put this on. Dear family, it's your cousin P. And what's your name?
Dear P.
It's your cousin P. And we got young Zion. Look who I picked up, ZZ. What's up? Check this out. This podcast is
P.
Cousin P. Come on, you want to do this podcast with me?
Yeah.
Come on. We want to talk to the people. He got us SB. Y'all need to chilling like a fella. Let's get some people in the room. Let's get some people in the room. Let's get some people in the room. We're going to ask you questions.
P.
Cut P.
P.
Couldn't P.
We're back, P.
Yeah.
Like that. What are the P?
Mm-hmm.
What are the P?
Yeah, run it back.
We're back.
Yeah, run it back.
We're back.
Yeah, run it back.
We're back.
Yeah.
We're back.
Yeah, you wanted to run it back? That's your song?
Yeah.
Okay. I had to go pick up ZZ and ZZ South Sea. What's up with you, man? How was the day? How was school today?
Good.
It was good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, man. We're gonna start this podcast. Is you ready for the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay. The people want to talk to us. How y'all feeling out there? It's your cousin P, man. I want y'all to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Cousin P. Subscribe to my IG channel at Cousin P Music. And subscribe to my Twitter page at Cousin P. The Twitter page is up and running. And we're going to have a good time. What's up? Get that thumb out your mouth. Talk to the people. Tell them run it back. Run it back. Come on.
Ha!
Okay. Fix your... Oh, let me fix the fight. Let me fix the fight. Dear fan, man, I tried to get home a little early, man. I was running. I was moving. Dear family, we're going to start this podcast off. Zion, you going to be in the podcast or you want to go in there with your uncle? I'm running there. What's standing, man?
Coffee.
You want to talk to the people?
No.
Okay. You want to talk to the people? Z, look, Z, look. Z. Come on, let's talk. Turn around. Let's talk. Okay. He don't want to talk right now. Let me continue to invite people in the room, Dan. Because he don't want to talk.
Like and I'll go car.
Huh?
I'll car this.
Okay. Hold on, I gotta invite people into the room. I gotta invite people to the room. I gotta invite you to the room. To the room. To the room. Say what's up, D. D chilling like a villain.
Me? Me?
Dear family, it's your cousin Pete.
I'm at home.
You want to spend time? Get over here if you want to get in like Flynn, man. What's happening with it? Hold on, let me see if I can find this. Today's podcast, 295. It's 295. You will never be good enough for the wrong person in your life. You will never be good enough for the wrong person in your life. And so we'll start that in 3 minutes. What you want to say to the people, Z?
Run back.
Run it back?
Yeah.
You want to tell them run it back? You want to say cut P? You want to say Zion? You want to say pizza? You want to pray to Allah? Let's do prayer. Come on, we got to do prayer. If you already know we got to do prayer. Come on.
No.
Come on. And then I'll go get you. All right. Well, I got to do prayer. You got to get out the room so I can do prayer then. If you don't want to do prayer with me, you got to get out. You going to do prayer with me? All right, get out. See you later. You want to go do prayer? He don't want to do prayer with me. Usually he want to do prayer with me. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, and bear witness that there is no God but Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Master of the Day of Judgment. Thee alone do we serve, and thee alone do we seek help. O Allah, guide us on the right path. The path upon those who have bestowed favors, not upon those whose wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray. Position of prayer. Do your prayer. We thank Almighty God for Jesus and the gospel, Moses and the Torah, and Muhammad for the Holy Quran. Peace and blessings be upon these mighty giants that came before us, yet to guide all of us on the right path. And their righteous and holy names, I greet you with Assalamu alaikum. What'd you say?
Run back.
Wa alaikum salam. Okay. Dear family, this podcast is titled, You Will Never Be Good Enough for the Wrong Person in Your Life. You will never be good enough for the wrong person in your life. Yeah, take that off then. If it's hot. You will never be good enough for the wrong person in your life.
Dada.
What?
Ow.
Well, look here. You want to go in there with your uncle?
Yeah.
Okay, go in there with him because I'm going to do this podcast. Hey, how y'all feeling out there, man? I want y'all to subscribe to my YouTube channel right now because they're finna release all of the backstage concerts that I did down south, and you have to subscribe to my YouTube channel in order to see it. They just finished editing, and I'm excited about it, and now I can, deliver. Y'all can see what I was doing on tour. If you haven't yet, go purchase or download Fall of America, one of the hottest albums out. I'm knowing that you will love it. Can I go grab my notes? Let me go grab my notes. I'm going to start this podcast because I don't want to be all night, but we're going to get it. If you would like to come on, I wrote down notes today because I wanted to talk about a few things. And one of them is how I'm doing a podcast. You gotta be respectful. Thank you. Okay. So one of the things I want to talk about in today's podcast, this podcast is titled 295. You will never be good enough for the wrong person in your life. You will never be good enough. You will never be good enough for the wrong person in your life that don't appreciate you or what you have to offer. Yes, sir.
Hat back.
You want your hat back?
Yeah.
I'm doing a podcast. Now, I asked you to do prayer with me, and you didn't want to do prayer with me, brother. You know, we do prayer every morning and every night. You know? Do you want to do prayer? Huh? Okay, come on. Stand up. Position of prayer. Let's do proper prayer. Come on. And I'm going to put it back. I'll put it back when you do. Hold on. Okay, let's do prayer to God. We got to pray to God. There you go. Let's come on. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Now watch my son do prayer. Position of prayer. Look, watch this. Position of prayer. Come on. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, massive day of judgment. Deal on do we serve and deal on do we seek help. Look at it. Position of prayer. I thank God for Jesus. I thank God for Moses and Muhammad and all the prophets therein and above. Amen.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They start young, man. I want to talk a little bit about this podcast 295. I want y'all to share this to y'all pages, if you will. But I want to talk about the word auditing. And it goes along with this podcast. Hold on one second. Let me see this. You will never be good enough for the wrong person in your life. A lot of people don't appreciate and value good deed, good will, and good energy. A lot of people don't appreciate that. And the more that you give, the more the reciprocated love is not in return. And you have to be definitely aware of those that are in your best interest and that are not in your best interest. Let me grab here because I want to keep this right where I need it to be. Watch out, I'm on my podcast. Hold on. There are those that are diligently involved in loving an individual wholeheartedly. There are individuals that appreciate the fabric of love, the foundation of growth. Are you gone? We'll get up out of here then. Yeah, let me help you out. Go in there chill with your uncle for a second. You know I'm doing a podcast and you can't be rude, okay? Yeah. You got to stop being rude. Now, when I'm handling my business, let me handle my business. Then Daddy, I taught you I teach my son about business. You know what I'm saying? But you can't be rude, okay? You got to be respectful. Okay, you can take this off if you want it off.
No.
All right. So I apologize. If you go to So Black and So Beautiful Song, my album called SBSB, it's a song on there titled Zion. Go check it out. Nevertheless, there are those of us that take friendships, relationships very personal, man. And we treat people how we want to be treated. And sometimes in these relationships, there are those that are not in our best interest and for themselves all the way. And so the more that you good to the individual, the more the individual is not good to you. And it's a waste of money, time, and energy. So you definitely have to let me get over here. You definitely have to be aware of this energy that you have around you. Most definitely. I wrote down some notes that I want to address. And so I want to talk about aggressiveness versus affectionate. And what I put right here is which one are you? Because whatever your spirit is in your relationship, if you affectionate, are you aggressive? Are you very aggressive? I'm on the podcast. I'm on the podcast. You can't do that. Come on now. You want to fix your hat for the people? He got his SB. He wants to rock with his SBSB hat. I wouldn't got my son and he chilling with me. Now, so let me see my work. Let me see my work. I apologize. You know when you got your affectionate versus aggressive. And the question was, which one are you? Because whichever one you are, that's what energy controls your relationship. See, in all relationships, it has to be attractive. You become unattractive when you become unattractive when people is no longer feeling you. It's because you're unattractive. The energy that you're putting out is not stimulating your relationship. Therefore, you have to make adjustments in your relationship in order to sustain your relationship. That's very important. So, when you do a auditing of self, it's called self-check, reality check. You're auditing self. There's many of us that know who we are. In a relationship, some relationships, the necessity of a relationship, meaning that hugs, kisses, I got here affections, is really not a necessity for certain individuals. And so, understanding, you all right? I'll put it down. Put that down.
Okay.
Yeah. Understanding certain individuals and how what? Uh-oh. This my good Lord. You're gonna have to get up out of here, dear family.
No.
Okay now. So certain individuals, in these relationships, some are affectionate and some are not affectionate. And that don't mean that the person doesn't love you. It's just that that's how the person was raised, or the person that never was given that type of energy, so he don't or she don't know how to give it nor receive it. So when you do this auditing check in your relationships, self-check, reality check, look at all the things about you that you need to strengthen. You may be too aggressive in areas where you need to humble yourself a little bit. You may be too humble in areas where you need to be aggressive. Remember always that balance is the key to success. In everything that you do, you need balance. It's like balancing your checkbook. It's very important every month that you balance your checkbook, that you may pay your bills and be sufficient for that month. Well, that's also in a relationship. Too much of anything is no good. So throughout this relationship, in the course of it, you have to balance yourself. You can't be too much of anything is no good. You got to have the right ingredient every time you cook. You can't put too much salt. You can't put too much pepper. You can't put too much seasoning. Everything has to be balanced in order to feel good and taste good. So understand in relationships, when you do this auditing with self, you self-checking self, and you're looking at what you need to do that's in your what you need to do to bring the balance to it, because we all have shortcomings and failures and faults, and we're gonna those attributes are gonna disappoint others. Something about us is gonna disappoint our significant other or our friend or any type of relationship. But long as you know, when you understand balance and you affecting somebody that you got love for, you need to self-check, reality check, and find out what you're doing and and balance it. That's very, very important. Let's talk about in relationships, when one is miserable or dissatisfied in a relationship. This is what I wrote. There are several reasons why individual have that type of energy. You okay? Cause my son doing all this moving, I had to go snatch him up, and he chilling now. Okay. So when one is miserable, one is dissatisfied in a relationship, it's actually due is actually, let me put it like this. There are several reasons why one will be dissatisfied in a relationship, or disappointed in a relationship. And it's because the individual was unable to see the nature of God within that person. I'm gonna say that again, dear family. when a person is dissatisfied, disappointed in a relationship, it's because the individual that is dissatisfied or miserable is unable to see the nature of God within that person. What is the nature of God in the human being? Well, the nature of God within the man is provider, protector, and maintainer. The nature of woman is nurturer. She's a cultivator. She's a teacher as well. When that is not displayed in the relationships, or when the woman is masculine, it's not the nature of her, so it's not tasteful. Is very unattractive. When the man is acting feminine and weak, to a woman that's unattractive, because a woman appreciate a strong man. You get what I'm saying? So understand your place in the nature, not what society has created for us or made us out to be. We have to get back into the nature of God, because when something becomes unattractive, people start to dislike you. People start to disassociate themselves from you. So it's very important to audit yourself and self-check, reality check, and find out what you're missing and what you're doing too much of. I always say all relationships end because it's either too much of something or not enough of something. And be very mindful. Be very mindful of who you are, and get out of the you know the emotion of this is who I am. If that's who you are and that's all you have to offer, then you have completely halted your way of thinking, your way of thinking, so you don't grow. And anything that stays the same eventually dies. And a lot of individuals that I've come across always wanting to be, you know, confined to what they've been. Don't you know, when you meet other individuals, if that individual was great, he or she is going to bring something up out of you to make you better. And this is why you have the Spirit of God in you. It's growth. God ain't never been stagnant. It's growth. So when you meet an individual, don't meet that individual with a lustful eye. Don't meet that individual with he's the same as what you had, or she's the same as what you had. Meet that individual for what that individual offers you through his conduct, his character, her conduct, her character, and then do an evaluation. Because a lot of us pray for things, in this life. And you like, I want this, I want that. And God allows an individual to come in your journey and gives you what you want. That individual may not come, in full circle for you. But best believe you could you could you could differentiate the difference between somebody that's good and somebody that's not. And that person may offer you something that could help you along your way, along your journey in this life. So understand, dear family, that auditing is very important in this journey. Let me get my phone right here. Auditing is very important in this journey, that we audit self and we self-check, reality check self, that we may be in harmony. This podcast is 295. You will never be good enough for the wrong person in your life. I say that to say this. Sometimes what defines good for you may not be what the individual want, whatever you have to offer. And sometimes people outgrow people. So you may think that you're doing a whole hell of a lot, and you cooking and you cleaning and you having sex and you washing the clothes and you taking care of the bills, and it ain't good enough for the individual. Um, um, and it's because that individual hasn't grown up himself. And this is why in Islam it's called courting for a protracted period of time. You have to identify who you're dealing with, that you won't run into these issues. You will never be good enough for the wrong person. See, you good, and you grown into greatness, and because of the emotional attachment, you fell victim to what that emotion gave you when you was involving yourself with the individual. And then you found out that the individual was unappreciative. You found that that person did not reciprocate the same love and energy that you gave. And so, and you constantly work and busting your ass, but not progressing at all. And the person is not showing you that they appreciate you. Why? It's because the person is not in the same boat you in. The person uh, uh, mental is not where you at, and you steady trying to force something. It's sort of like trying to cook some food and give it to somebody half done. You know what I'm saying? You trying to eat it half done, knowing damn well it don't taste good, but you still gonna consume it. What I want to tell you this, dear family, enough is enough in 2022. You have to align yourself with like-minded people. What is like-minded people? People that think just like you or better than you. People that have every um, will to want to do better. People that have is open minded to constructive criticism. You have to and surround yourself with those people so that you may grow. Because if you stay the same, don't nobody want to be around you. Don't nobody want to be around you. You too strong. I talked about masculinity versus affectionate. The nature of the nature of a woman is her feminine side. If you aggressive like a man, don't nobody want to be around you. If you smoking weed and drinking and clubbing and don't no man value that. See, value and valuable is two different meanings, sister. You bring value, like I stated before. The properties I own have value. You know what I'm saying? But my son right here that's sleeping, it's valuable. It's priceless. You got to entertain. You got to walk into get out of value. See when you put on your little eyelashes and get your little hair done, your weave weeded in, and you put your makeup on and your foundation, and you do all your things to. Um, that's not valuable. It holds value uh, in terms of making you look better. You look a little bit more. How can I put it? Qualified in a lustful eye. You know what I'm saying? You like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? It's got some value there, but is it valuable? Valuable is in the heart. Valuable is in the mind. Valuable is in your conduct and your character. Valuable is in your morals, your principles, your integrity. That's valuable. The character of a person holds is was valuable. So when a man is looking at you and you doing things other than a woman, or your values are not up to par, you're gonna have a rough time dealing with an individual and looking for a man to look at you in a manner of being valuable. There's relationships that I have that have value. Some of them have value, and some are valuable because of the characteristic of the human being. And and if you if you have a spiritual background, such as myself, I look towards energy. I look towards, people's integrity. I look towards, I look at how people handle situations, because you either handle it like a tyrant, or you handle it with class. Who are you? Who is what's going to determine my respect for you. If you handle it like a tyrant, look at this. It's a reflection of your mind. Don't no man want, or don't no woman want no man to handle things uncivilized. A woman wants a man to handle things with civil, responsible, but effective. And don't no man want no woman to handle shit with eyes screaming all across, the street, and your wig falling off your head and one of your eyelashes is hanging off. We don't want to be seen with that, and we ain't got time for that. So it's very important that you self-check, reality check, and audit itself and see where you at in your life. It's very important. You know what I'm saying? That you do that. This podcast is podcast 229. You will never be good enough for the wrong person in your life. I mean, we could do so many things for our children. And sometimes our children be so ungrateful. And they ungrateful based on their lack of understanding. They don't value or know what we've been through in our lives. And we give so much. And we're so good. And they tend to start life. See, they start life 15 years after us. And they have no idea what got us to that point and all we had to go through. So they start taking things for granted, which we value things more. You know why people hold on to stuff and clean up their houses? Because they value it. You could tell a person's mindset and brain set and the respect for themselves when you walk into the house. It's smelling good, looking good. Matter of fact, let's go check out that toilet. Boy, if that toilet is nasty around the bottom, because I be looking. I'm looking everywhere. It's a reflection of who the hell you are. Boy, if I come through your house and you got dishes stacked up, your your curtains falling off the rod, and you don't see that. If I look into your face and say, "How you doing?" and your teeth yellow and you got food between them, boy, it's a reflection of your mind. You got to get it together. Self check, reality check is very important. Some more things I wrote down here. Then we gonna open it up. Attractive. I want to talk about the word attractive. Because a lot of relationships fall from grace because things become unattractive. See, in the beginning, when you met the individual, it was attractive. The conversation was. It was something new. You got along. Um, you were very cordial in the beginning, and then things started heading south. Now he cussing you out, and you cussing him out. Now you seeing how he handles business, and it's far from how you handle business. Then you seeing how he uh, shows you the appreciation and love that you deserve. And then you watching her, and she just want to go out and club and party all damn day with her friends. You start seeing these things about the individual, and it becomes unattractive. Did you know that when relationships are in trouble, it's because things become unattractive? So it's very important that you ask your spouse, when you in that climate where things are uneasy between one another and you just not feeling it, you unattracted. It's unattractive. You should ask that individual, what is it that I'm doing that's affecting you? And it may be because you lazy as hell. It may be because of that. It may be because you not showing the same gratitude that the individual was showing, or you just may not be producing anything. So understand this, sisters and brothers, dear family, that in every relationship, I don't give a damn if it's your cousin, your brother, your mama, the things they say, do, the things they say or do comes that affects you is because it's unattractive. So it's very important that you always growing to find a different approach, to learn other people so you won't be so unattractive to the individual. That's why people get tired. You get tired of the same thing. And that's where cheating come in at. You become so unattractive and something new becomes so energetic that you try it out. You know what I'm saying? And you try it out. And so this podcast is titled, You Will Never Be Good Enough for the Wrong Person. I had a podcast and it was identify who you dealing with. And the reason why you will never be good enough for the wrong person because that person is not for you. The person is not for you. It felt good. See, women deal with that emotion. It feel good. You always in your feelings. You got to start dealing with your intelligence in 2022. What does man offer you, sister, that brings tangible things to your life? You know what I'm saying? We living in a time where war, as you see what's in the middle in Europe, is coming to America. You have to be prepared for that with a strong support system in place that is bringing tangibles. You can't be with nothing that want to smoke weed, drinking. I'm not knocking nobody for what they do, but we got to put the foolishness down and get prepared for what's to come. It's very important that we do. Um, um, I talked about the necessities, hugging, kissing, affection. Um, I'm not too much. I don't show enough affection. I don't think I do. Even with my beautiful daughters, when I was growing up, you know, my mother didn't hug me, so I didn't know how to reciprocate something that I never was given. And so when my daughters would try to hug me and show me affection, I would shy off, or I'll be masculine about it. And I had to grow. I'm growing still into showing affection. Because that's another deal breaker in the relationships. Some people want to be hugged. Some people are searching for that. And if you with an individual that don't know how to give it, not that he wrong, he just don't know how to give it. Not that she wrong, she just been affected by her trials and errors of life. A lot of women have been raped by their family members, uncles and brothers, and they fear men in certain areas. You know what I'm saying? And it's difficult for certain women to open up to men. You know what I'm saying? And that's understandable. And I've run across a lot of people in this journey that suffer mentally from that. And so, to the brother, you got to understand when a sister doesn't know how to express herself is only because she wasn't given the tools to, and it's your responsibility as a man to grow her into what God intended for her to be. Yeah, he over here snoring. Little Z over here snoring. And so, sister, when you see a man that needs help, assist him. You know what I'm saying? Assist that brother. And I have to say this, and this is genuine. In my journey, and I have in this life, um, I met an individual that completely changed my mindset. And I grew so much value for that. And that person grew so much value, became valuable to me. I'm gonna do that at another podcast. That's it got to be deeper than that. That's another podcast. Nevertheless, dear family, in conclusion, and I'll bring you on. I stated it before. The relationships, quit going 50-50 in the relationships. That ain't gonna work. We got to start going 100-100. See, you putting in 50% expecting 100 out. You only gonna get half of that shit. You gonna, whatever you put in is what you get out. We got to stop going 50-50. That's in friendships. That's in all relationships. If you go 100-100, you get what you put in out. If you're going 50-50, that's when you're going to get out 50%. You know what I'm saying? So understand we have to change that narrative and put in an even, you know, um, I wrote down here, people treat you, people, what I put, uh, the way people treat you is what I say, the way people treat you is what they think of you. I believe I said that. Oh, people treat you according to how they, people treat you according to how they feel about you. I'm gonna say that again, there, Phil. People treat you according to how they feel about you. So whatever individual, yeah. So whatever individual that you have in your circle, there's some that's jealous, some that's envy, some that wanna uh, help you win, some that wanna uh, watch you win, some that wanna see you fail, and some wanna put roadblocks in your growth. You know, you got to identify these people because whichever way they treat you is how they genuinely feel about you. You know, it's sort of like it's a respect. It's definitely a respect level and a respect deficiency. Why? Because if somebody owe you, you shouldn't have to go to that person and ask, "Can I get my money back?" Have you ever been in an uncomfortable situation where people have borrowed money, but never you was uncomfortable asking for your money back? Those are the individuals that don't that you have to look at, because those are the ones that don't hold you in the same light that you hold them in. Because it was honorable for you to extend your hand, which is your love, and bless them with something they didn't have, on their word being their bond, and to be slapped in the face without a phone call on the day or time you said you was gonna give it back. And then you spending money, but you owe me money. Then you got an excuse on why you didn't give me. That's not your money. But those individuals lack integrity. Those individuals lack commitment. Those individuals lack responsibility. And so those are the ones that you have to disassociate yourself from as well. This podcast is titled, this, where my, where it's at. This podcast is titled, You Will Never Be Good Enough for the Wrong Person. You never will be good enough for the wrong person. Because I'm a spiritual brother, so I come with spiritual teachings. I come with enlightenment. I come with encouragement. I come with shaking hand and meeting a friend. And the fact that I'm genuine about it and I'm honest about what I say and what I do and what I ain't gonna do, some people don't appreciate that because they have an agenda themselves. You have to be careful on who you give your energy to, because they will drain the hell out of you. I'm gonna say it again, dear family. Be careful who you give your energy to because they will drain the hell out of you, wanting wanting something from you other than what it is. Um, so you can, though they see good in you, though they see all these wonderful things about you, you will never be good enough for the wrong individual because their intentions are different from yours. Understand that. Understand that. There's though they're not on a level where um, they want to expand with you. They on a level where they want what they want when they want it. Selfish, self-centered, selfish individuals. Be mindful of those individuals, man. And that's why we have to align ourselves with like-minded. Like-minded is like me. Like-minded people, not people that always have a problem. When we're dealing with problems on the street, we don't want them problems no more. So, in conclusion, I'm going to bring you on for those who want to come on and share great conversation on this topic. Um, we talked about what's attractive and what's unattractive. We talked about aggressiveness versus affectionate, um, and understanding the nature. Um, there's one more thing here. It's my notes. Um, what is a successful relationship? What is a successful relationship? Well, first and foremost, in the word business, you have the word busy. Busy. Busy is movement. So in relationships, there has to be some type of movement. And the other word is teamwork. One assisting another to meet one's obligation. Affection. I asked a family member of mine to give me some ideas of what you think a successful relationship was and is. And one was being supportive of one another, being understanding, able to be vulnerable, able to be vulnerable, and that's very scary to be vulnerable to individuals because we have been affected by previous relationships and don't nobody want to let down their guard. So being vulnerable is very difficult because people uh, sometimes take you for granted or take advantage of you. And so everybody has a shield up in these relationships that we are in. And so all you could do in an event of that is to continue to press forward if this is, in your best interest and show the individual that you are in there, for them. And eventually that individual will open up and give you opportunity to see the spirit of their heart, and build with you. So that's very important. I hope y'all enjoying this podcast 295, pardon me. And we're going to open the gate. You could never be good enough for the wrong person. You will never be good enough for the wrong person in your life. Do anybody have any questions or they want to come online and talk about that? I got my son knocked out. If anybody would like to come on, feel free to. We've been having wonderful podcasts with those coming on. And if you would like to come on camera with me, and we could wrangle with it. And if you want to not even wrangle with it, if you have something you want to add to, it's very important that each one teach one, and we get different perspectives and views about a subject title, and all so that we all become critical thinkers and say, "Damn, I didn't see it in that manner. I didn't see it in that way." It's okay to learn. It's okay to be wrong and say my bad. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to listen to a different perspective other than your own. Um, is more than one way to skin a cat, they say. So it's okay. Who would like to come on? Feel free. Who would like to come on? I'm gonna let y'all think about it. Give me about 2 seconds. I'm gonna go put my son down. I had to go get my son. I'm gonna go put him down. Give me 1 second. Dear family. It's your cousin P. I'm at the office, man, in my house. Okay. Do anybody want to come on? My cousin with hubby. Ouch. Oh, I don't know. Cousin with hubby. Yeah, but I'm listening and learning. Okay. Okay. Go ahead, man. You know, I like to hear your wisdom. Hold on, let me pull you up. You
Hello.
there?
Yep. I was
You,
trying to get one of y'all to come on here.
let me turn this up.
One of the ladies.
It's kind of low. You kind of, let me put this in. You sound kind of low.
Let me see. Maybe I
Say
can.
something.
Can you hear me now?
Not as loud as I heard you on another podcast, but I guess that'll do. Who else would like to come on? We're gonna have bring one more individual on.
Come on.
Let's bring this in. Oh no, hold on. Let me see. Come on, so I can hear from you. Hey, uh, and they love your wisdom, D. I wonder what was the sister name that was podcasting with us online before. What's her name?
The
You
Nina?
oh, that's the one that was coming on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, she's not on now.
Isn't that her that said she was with her husband? Or
Oh
no?
no, no, that's not her. That's not her.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not sure. I didn't see her then tonight.
Okay, let's see if individuals want to come on. A lot of people is nervous
Oh,
about
there she
coming
go.
on.
There she goes. She there. She
Where's
said
she
she
at?
can't come on camera tonight.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
thought I
Where?
saw her.
Where I don't see her. Can't come on camera
Her
now.
name is
That's me.
different.
Oh, okay. That's not her.
Hmm.
That's not. No, that's
She
not
said
her.
it's me, Nina.
Oh,
Australia Jones.
now let me see.
That's,
Who
I
else?
hope I'm saying it right.
Mm, I don't know, but anything you want to add to? I'm try one more person because they look forward to your wisdom.
I mean, I have some for me, like when you was talking about the affection part of it,
Hmm.
um, I know I had to learn how to balance my affection because sometimes you can be too affectionate for some people and then another
Hmm.
person is not enough. So it's kind of like I don't know. Sometimes also, affection could be not only just in the hugs or the kisses or I love yous, but also after words of affirmation. I think a lot of times as sisters, we forget with the brothers that they have feelings and we don't tend to pour into you guys as much as we should by uplifting and saying, honey, you did good. That was great. That type of stuff. That's also affection, you know.
I think that's a very beautiful statement there because a man loves to be validated by his significant other. That's more, that's that's like the highlight of his relationship is when a woman validates his worth. And
Right.
when a woman doesn't do that, yet that man does so much in the relationship, he tends to get disappointed. And then and as I stated before, things become unattractive, meaning that
Right.
you're not feeding that ego. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If his ego land, you know what I'm saying, eh, that means he's dissatisfied. So it's very important, sisters out there, if you're listening, to always feed into your man's goodwill. And when he appreciates something, he definitely goes above and beyond to do more. So
Mhm.
you would see more extensions of his love opposed to him holding back, because being vulnerable in any situation is very difficult. And I can say that for majority of the people, we all have been affected by something that stops us from being who we can potentially be to you. So understand. And we got another sister on the phone. Who is this on camera?
Precious.
What's going on, Precious? How you doing? We can't see your face.
Hey,
I
sis.
I wasn't prepared to be on live.
Oh, it's all good.
We can hear you.
So what you think about the subject title we have? Any comments on it?
Uh,
Let me.
Not really. I mean, I think you're right. Like, cause this is something that I'm learning right now. Like, I don't know. Relationships aren't my strong point yet. I did a lot of, trial and errors and kind of wasn't successful. So I'm kind of like in my healing stage, working on me so I can make sure that the next time I do get in this situation, it can be, with somebody that's like my one, you know. And I
Yeah,
like the topic, it just, I wanted to watch this because it hits dead on. Like, you're never going to be the right person for somebody if they don't want you, basically. And
mm,
I had to learn that the hard way. So I'm just,
I
just
could, I could,
taking the wisdom.
yeah, yeah. That's beautiful. And and in a relationship, I mean, as you stated, when it is a such thing as moving too fast. You can't move too fast and you can't move too slow. You just have to move accordingly. And that's what's important, because when you get wrapped up in the emotional part of the man, see, the emotion part is one attribute of a relationship, but you have to deal with the responsibility portion of the relationship. And that's what a lot of women tend not to do first, dealing with the responsibility. And the word responsibility, you have to responding to all. I mean, if you live with him, if you courting a guy, how consistent is he is with you? You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? That's going to determine if he's serious or not. He might just want, uh, you know, to have sex. And you just might be a cool person and allow that type of energy to be consistent to the point where he doesn't have to work for it. So it's not going to be a no value. It's not going to be a priority to him to basically um, grow into a stronger relationship with you. So it really depends on how you carry yourself and what you were looking for. Very important. And I would say, look for a man to respond responsibly. That's
Yeah.
very important. Very. What you got to say about that, D?
I got a question.
Oh,
So
come
my
on with it.
so I mean, because while you was talking, I'm thinking, okay, so my question is, and I know there's sisters out there who probably could relate. Um, you're getting to know somebody. Maybe they're not even in the space of necessarily you guys are um having discussed it. Okay, we like each other, we going somewhere with this. But maybe you
Mhm.
meet somebody and you're vibing with them. Uh, but you cannot, as a woman, you cannot reveal all of you to someone who's only a friend, who's only someone you're getting to know. And so um, because of that, the man in that instance, um, if he's looking to judge the woman or kind of vet her, as they say,
Mhm.
and
I like
he's
that word,
looking
vet.
he's looking to figure out, is this a potential mate for me or someone I could get into? There's parts of her he won't necessarily see right off, because much of what you're going to find out more about the person once you're in the situation, once you're already in the situation. So with that being said, uh, it's like, how much does a woman reveal? in
Damn,
order
that's
to
a
allow that brother to get to know, you know what I'm saying, what he's getting into.
yeah, that's a beautiful question, man. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. You attract what you are. And if you're immature and you're irresponsible and you half-ass this, that's exactly what you attract. And so, in many cases, such my case, I talk about me. What's attractive? I mean, let me say this to you: men do vet women. We watch everything. We observe in conduct. We observe in character, and sometimes the energy is just that great where everything moves faster than normal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it becomes a problem when you have an immature individual opposed to a mature individual. So it
Mm-hmm.
has everything to do with what type of man he is, but it has everything to do with what type of woman you are. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you say that you smart, you say that you intelligent, and this is what you attract, and then the energy is just gonna be there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And you could actually feel it when it's
Mm-hmm.
wrong or when it's right. When it's wrong and when it's right is the nature of life. Too many women entertain with feel good.
Mm-hmm.
You like the feeling of it. See, the feeling is the emotion. It comes and goes. But being wrong and being right is a principle.
Mm-hmm.
So you looking for what you looking for, and that's what's attractive to you. But what's attractive to you? A longevity, or instant gratification. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So you have to put out the things that's longevity in terms of showing this man that you could appreciate him, but at the same time, you value yourself. But some cases, things do move fast and things do. Uh, so that's not an issue with that. It really depends on the maturity, the level that one is engaging with another. Because you have some immature people that's engaging with responsible people, and that ain't gonna never work.
So in other words, the sister just basically needs to show up and be of her higher self, and she's gonna pull that energy back towards her.
Yeah, I mean, a beautiful woman that that when a woman shows the feminine side of her nature, but
Mm-hmm.
assertive, a
Mm-hmm.
man responds to that because he see the nature of God in her.
Right.
That's the beauty of it. When he sees the nature of God in her, she's assertive, she's responsible, the integrity is on point. Oh man, it's a beautiful feeling. But
Right.
then also a man responds to a woman that submits her will to do his will too. But you got to
Right.
do that. You got to submit your will to do, submit your will to a man that's responsible to God.
Right.
That's the key component to it because what's going to govern whatever that man is about is what's going to govern your relationship. Is he a drug dealer like many of us
Right.
was? His mentality is going to govern your relationship. Is he a man
Mm-hmm.
of God? Is she a man? Is she's a woman of God? That's what's going to nurture your relationship. If she's a woman that's been in the streets, been doing her thing, she has that capability and that spirit with her is going to govern part of your relationship if she or he or she hasn't grown into a better understanding. So,
Right.
you got to be careful. You got to be
Right.
careful. Let me see. I'm just bringing more people into the room.
Okay.
Um, any questions, sis, you have, or any things you want to talk about?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Uh, no, not at the moment. We can. I mean, if I got one, I'll mention something. I don't want to go off topic, and I don't just want to,
Oh no, no. It has whatever you want to talk about. Feel free.
I'll
Feel
just.
free.
Then if something pops in my head,
Okay. Anybody out there? Well, if you would like to ask a question, you can write it. and we will respond to you. Let me see. No one came up with the questions. We go 3 more minutes. Do you have anything you want to add to, or you want to talk about? There you go.
Well, I would just say that a big part of meeting or being in the wrong relationship, so to speak, it always has to do with you and where you are when you meet that person, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. And so we can potentially draw the wrong energy towards us. Then we get wrapped up in that person and we think we have something going on with that person. And
Mm.
it's not the right situation. Um, well, I mean, I
No,
think
no, no.
that's
I was reading.
almost
I was reading the text.
85,
That's
95
powerful.
percent of you know what I'm saying? 85%
Yeah,
of the most relationships be the wrong situation, but we don't realize it until it's too late. We're
and
not
that's
taking the
real.
time to really vet and get to know the individual, like you saying, that we getting involved with.
Hmm. That's deep.
Very deep story of my life.
And I mean, everybody has consistent patterns of who they
Mhm.
are. If you around a person long enough, you're gonna see the patterns of their whatever they're lacking and wherever their strengths are. You're gonna see it after a while. You just gotta let it show up.
Say that again, D. That was powerful. I'm gonna write it down. The pattern part. Everybody has a consistent pattern.
Yeah. They have a consistent pattern of behaviors. And you know where that comes from? It stems
Uh.
from, and I always tell people, we have dominant thoughts, right? Our
Mhm.
dominant thoughts are what lead us, our actions on a daily basis. So, in other words, whatever you do on a daily basis comes from your most dominant thoughts. Your dominant thoughts are formed from things that you were taught in the world, you know, uh, just in life in general. You know what I'm saying? From your upbringing
Mhm.
and so forth. And so when you look at that and you say, okay, it creates a pattern of behavior. And so it's going to show up because you can't not be that unless you go in and change those dominant thoughts. You're going to be consistently whatever that is. Have you ever met a person, and we all probably have, every time you talk to that person, they talk about the same argument. They got the same stance in
Hey
whatever.
man, good lord. Yeah.
And so that's what I mean. They have you could go on Facebook right now and look at somebody's page and pretty much see what they thinking about every day because it's going to be in what they post.
Mm.
So we all have dominant thoughts that that creates our world. It creates how we love, how we feel, how we think. You know what I'm saying? How we show love, how we give love, how we receive it. There's a pattern. Now we can change
Mm.
this pattern, but most of us don't know how to do this. So we be stuck in that for years.
Mm-hmm.
And then we
That's
meet the
deep.
same people over and over again. We go through the same problems in the same relationships, but a different face over and
And you
over
know
again.
what? That's beautiful teachers right there because there was a situation where a family member of mine was disappointed in the relationship, and they were like, "Cousin P, I'm just gonna move out of the state." I was like, "Sister, if you move out of state, you're just gonna be out of state with the same mindset. Once you
Right.
deal with your situation with the brother and reconcile the differences, I mean, and it goes along on what you're saying. But let me tell you, some people are stagnant in that manner in what you just said, and sometimes receive a blessing in their life and don't know how to accept it, even don't know what it is because they come with the same stance that they
Mm-hmm.
do with everybody. You know what I'm saying? And it's so, once again, unattractive, that they miss out on the opportunities, and it ain't got to always be the opportunities of a sexual relationship. It's on opportunities of a great support system. I always talk about having a support system in place. You have to surround yourself with like-minded people that will support you when you fall and you need advice, or someone that's not yes, ma'am, or yes, sir, but somebody that could give you a different perspective to make you a better human being, man. And
Right.
there's individuals um, like that I see to this day. They carry yes, they carries yesterday news into today's news, meaning that
Mm-hmm.
what they was today, and I tell people what it was yesterday, they ain't today. They got
Mm-hmm.
new news, and you steady carrying that same attitude, that same spirit, the same way you talk to the, this, the man you talk to. I mean, you carrying that same energy that you have with that man into a whole different situation. You ain't even studied yourself long enough to be able to say, to adapt to something that's new,
Right.
to adapt to something that's beneficial for you, so you don't know how to deal with the individual, so you really lose out. So I could definitely understand your point of view
And
on that.
that's one of the boundaries I've set for myself, actually, that whenever I meet a new person that is significant and destined in my life, I have to give them a clean slate. I can't judge them on what has been, because each individual comes in your life at a different time in your life, and they bring in a different lesson and a different type of blessing. And so what you had with someone else was the product of what you was when you were with that person. But if you're growing, like you're saying, and you're evolving, you're not going to be the same person when you meet that next person. That's if you're healing and you're evolving.
And 9 times out of 10, the person haven't healed. So the sister say, would you consider this generation a generational curse?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
because it stems way back. I mean, all the way back to slavery. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It stems way back. But we've been
Mm.
dealing with the mindset, like I'm saying, dealing with learning how to change our mindset is one of the biggest downfalls of Black people, and just in a whole. That's where mental illness stems from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because of the way we think a lot of times, and that's what I said. Thoughts are powerful. Thoughts are very powerful,
Hey, for real.
and it governs everything in your life if you allow it. And if you're allowing it to be a negative thought, like if you had a crappy relationship, or you had a string of crappy relationships, 9 times out of 10 that person is still of that mindset. They still had a weapon. They might have been a good person, and then all of a sudden you formed all these weapons while you was in this crappy relationship, and now those weapons have made you a terrible mate, because now the next person come in and you still wearing your armor. You still got your
Oh,
your
that's
weapons out.
powerful.
You get what I'm saying? So it's
That's
like you're
powerful.
not you then you have to learn to reprogram yourself on that.
Hey, that's
You
powerful.
know? And I feel like a lot of times we lose ourselves in situations to the extent, and I would say women more so than men, lose ourselves in the situation to the extent that we don't realize you're living that man's life, his pains, his sorrows. You literally have become him in the situation, and you don't realize that you're living his life. And that's why you're so unhappy, because you're not you in the connection.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's never going to work, because you can't lose yourself. You always have to uh, you always have to maintain your identity, and so does he, in order to be whole. See, to be whole is not two halves, but two wholes.
That's powerful teachings. Anybody got anything they want to say to that? Sister, you got something you want to say to that or add to that?
What she literally just said is basically what I'm doing right now. Like I am in a complete reset where I have like no friends, like no relations, no support system, nothing. I'm just, I just really just been to myself, doing my day to day and working on my relationship with God, getting closer with Him,
Mhm.
because right now that's like the only thing that's important to me, is just strengthening my relationship with Him, and just being faithful and just relearning myself, because I did lose myself, and I saw it for myself that, like, everything doing was trying to, like, appease to a man, or try to, I don't know, but I don't know. I just, like I said, my focus right now is getting closer with God. I've been working on myself and relearning me, learning what I like to do.
Mm-hmm.
What makes me happy. So I'm literally, like, on that road right now as we speak. So, you know,
Well, that's a good thing. That's a
yeah,
good thing. You know,
definitely.
it's a blessing that you were able to see your way out of that and to see that you needed healing, because majority of people will get right back into another situation. They won't take time to themselves.
Right.
They won't, you know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing, because that means that you have now been put on the right path and
Yeah.
you're taking your life back. I mean, it's good.
I think it's very difficult, because the woman definitely feels. Hold on, feels more of the. A woman invests more than a man emotionally, and so the pain is that much more painful, even in a relationship when it's departing. And so what a woman does, she stops her life and takes on the man life. Whatever the man like, whatever the man want, what make the man feel good. And over the years, at 36 is when I changed my whole narrative on how to handle women and how to treat women. And I was very aggressive, and it was about me, and I was selfish in a lot of ways. But men have to go through this real trial and error, and they have to be hurt in order to bring about a complete change. And when I was affected in my situation, it made me honor and respect the woman more. And this is why I said I would never dictate anything to a woman, because that woman has the spirit of God in her, and she could lead me,
Mm-hmm.
because everybody is blessed with a purpose, and your purpose may be of such to lead one. And so I, don't lose your to the sisters, don't lose yourself emotionally into a man. Continue to uh walk into your purpose, and allow the man to honor and respect you, because he see the God in you as well. That's what's important today. And how you do that is always staying assertive in your responsibility to self. That's very important. What is your responsibility to self? Your conduct, your characters, your morals, your values, and your principles. And it always says your way or God way. Who knows best how to live this life and walk through this journey but God himself. So if you're confused about it, how to conduct yourself, always look for spiritual advice. And that should be the foundation of how you walk in any relationship. Definitely. Just my point of view. Sister, yes, women become so emotionally attached and depend on man. You heard that, what she said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I wish we could bring her on, but I don't think I could bring nobody else on. I think it's only three at a time. Um, I had a question that I wanted to ask. Um, Let me see. I had a question. I should have wrote it down. I was listening to you.
Mm.
It'll come back to me. It'll come back. If there's any questions out there, if you want to wrangle with us, man, we got about 10 more minutes on this podcast. These podcasts has been phenomenal, man. Check out Cousin P, So Black and So Beautiful at SoBlackandSoBeautiful.com. Get you your apparel. My new album is out, Fall of America, is on all streaming platforms. Go check that out. What else I got going on? The listening party, they just getting the I'll let everybody know. Everybody hit me in a DM coming to the listening party. Once we finalize the site, it's gonna be up on my social media platforms, and y'all can come enjoy yourself. It's gonna be dope. We're gonna have big names in the house, and we're gonna be performing and acting, acting with love, listening to the Cousin P party. I'm thinking about doing it at we in talks right now for downtown, doing a listening party, quiet listening party with the headphones on, and that's at what's that spot called downtown on 17th? Uh the Complex. So y'all will know soon, shortly. It's gonna be live though. It's gonna be live.
Okay.
It's gonna be live. Any questions out there? Anybody want to come on camera? Let me know. Put me on. Say put me on. Yeah. I'm gonna put you on. If you're scared, stay in church
You
until
know
you get the
right.
courage to come out. You know what I'm saying? Do the work of God. You know what I'm saying? Stay right there. And there's a lot of strong women. I don't fully agree with that. What you don't fully agree with? Yes. What she don't fully agree with? I think it was two parts to that. What she talking about?
I don't understand what she's trying to say.
Yes, women. It says yes, women become so emotionally attached and depend on a man. And I say, "Hey man, strong queen." And she said, "Hey man, stay strong, queen."
There's
Oh,
a
she's
lot of
talking to
strong
her.
women I don't
A
fully
lot of
agree
strong
with.
women. I don't fully agree with that. I
Well,
like
I
that.
think maybe what she's trying to say is that some women are very strong and they don't lose themselves in the man.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, I'm a strong sister and I have lost myself in relationships. And so I would disagree with that. But the reason we tend to lose ourselves is because we tend to love on a level that we do it with our children, we do it with our mates. If any mother has a child and her child needs something, she's willing to go without for the child, right? We do the
Hmm.
same thing with our mates. And so and even as a parent, there's times when you've lost yourself and you've forgotten who you are because you're so consumed with trying to keep your house running. You forgot that you have to also keep yourself going. That's the only way you could really keep your house running. And so if you're too busy catering to your husband, too busy catering to your children, then you've forgotten yourself. And that's why, if you notice, some people, when their children get old enough and move out of the home, they go through a depressive state because they were not able to find, it's like they're trying to find themselves now, figure out who they are because their whole life were their kids and their husband, you know?
Mm.
And so we lose ourselves. It's somewhat of the nature of a woman. We're just naturally going to be nurturers. But we have to find balance in that, like we spoke before. Balance, emotionally balanced. That means you don't lose yourself. You still pour in and you give love, but you have to first give that love to yourself before you can even give it to your husband or your children properly. So that means
That's
I'm taking, you know what I'm saying? That means the sister need to be taking time out to take her bubble baths, to sit and read a book, to sometimes telling the kids no, I'm not gonna do that right now, and understand that don't make you a bad mother. Being able to tell your husband, well, I don't want to cook tonight. You know what I'm saying? And being okay with that, that he knows you're a good woman. If you're good, you're gonna be good regardless. It's no way for him not to see that. But it's the thing is the woman has to understand that for herself. And that's another
mm,
issue that stems from slavery.
mm. Ooh, D got. Hey, y'all better get up on D. That's my ace bone cone. Hey, Hey, so the sister said that I was battered. She said I was battered in a relationship. I was battered in a relationship that caused me to go back to prison. I felt like the man was angry with his mother and that he took it out on me. It's hard to explain texting.
It's not
Uh,
because that's kind of like when I sit back and look at my last situation, I
mhm,
like I was in a similar situation. Like I never went to jail, but I was in a point where I was literally about to buy a gun to
mhm,
because and I had to like run like out of state and talk to my brother and go run and family to get away or whatever, just to feel like to get away. But it was the same. Like I was battered. I was abused in all forms, emotionally, physically, mentally, and all that. And
mhm,
I had to realize, like looking back, it wasn't me that he hated himself. And then on top of that, he had daddy issues because his dad wasn't there, and he had mama issues. And then on top of that, in the woman that he was choosing, like and me included, he was looking for a mother, and I'm not here to be your mama.
Right.
that's
Well,
deep
I'm gonna
wisdom.
tell you, sis. I understand. I've been there, and I'm gonna tell you what I learned by myself. I had to learn that this person was a catalyst because I had gotten off track when I got with that person. You get what I'm saying? I chose the wrong individual because when a woman ends up with a man who's doing certain things of this nature, there's something when you meet that man, there's something in you that's somewhat broken. You're seeking something that that person can't give you, in other words. And that's the part that we had to heal as the women. So now the only way some of us are going to understand that is to have this person come in that gets very close to you, that you truly love, that becomes a catalyst for your healing. That person, in other words, had to come in and set you back on track. So it's all a part of your story. You get what I'm saying? Even
Yeah.
though it seemed hard and it seemed like, why did I have to go through this and that? You may have been too giving, too loving. You get what I'm saying? But you had
Mm-hmm.
to learn that from someone that you actually loved. Someone, like the brother says, he had to be hurt in order to see. We had to be hurt in order to see our way out of the situation and to understand that there was healing that needed to take place.
And that's very true, man. Looking at what I was subjected to as a young dude, um, men grow up in a culture where whatever they see, they feel that's what it is. That's the right thing to do. We felt like selling, we seen the drug dealing, so we figured that was the right thing to do. We see the abuse in the house, We figured that was the right thing to do. When these young brothers are subjected to all type of hell, you know what I'm saying? It's a never ending trial for a man. There's always things that he has to overcome, and definitely men that haven't had their father in the house um don't know how to be a man. They don't know how to respond to a woman.
Mm-hmm.
We see, we talk about the word hoe, we talk about the word bitch, and then we live that stigma, we live that energy into other women. And so instead of the woman becoming our woman, we still looking for her to be the mother that we never had, or are we looking for her to be somebody that we could control and run because that's what the streets and society say what was okay. And it did a lot of harm in our community, and a lot left a lot of children's without fathers because of the man being abusive and the woman having to leave, and the woman looking for assistance in other areas and find another man with the same mentality, just in a different area. So I definitely can understand. Uh, I even had a situation where I felt like the sister never knew her father, and she wanted me to be her father instead of, and I told her, I said, you looking for your father, you ain't looking for no man, because the things that you asking for, it was, you know the thing she was asking me to do everything that a man was supposed to do, but she didn't know how to take care of man. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So she couldn't, um you know uh she couldn't, like, tap into what I needed and what I wanted to keep me as a man going. And I was at
Mm-hmm.
a young age, but I learned those things. But yeah, everybody has a story, and everybody has a try. Everybody has been subjected to unfortunate things in our lives that we're understanding them now, and we're growing out of them. And that's the great thing.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hold on, what she say? You don't know what their copy. Yeah. But this is a great conversation. I forgot the title of it. Hey, but it's great information, man. And we have to understand that I think when these subject titles need to be talked about, because we all are looking for answers and questions. And if we come together as a community, we can always help one another. And we need to continue this conversation and keep it going. We gonna call this part one.
Mhm.
This part one, and we're gonna keep wrangling this sister. If you can always reach out for advice. You know, if you ever need some advice about a situation, you can always reach out. Most definitely.
Definitely.
Oh, she
Or
said you done with side chick.
right.
Hey, side chicks is over with. Part one and part two. That was 6 hours. I think it's enough information there. Is you could subscribe to my YouTube channel, and part one and part two is on YouTube at this time. Just type in Cousin P, and it'll pop up like a pop tart, and you can check them out. But your side chick is over. This is titled. What's the title, y'all? 295. This is hold on a second. This podcast, it won't even open. Hold on. There we go. Let's see. Here we go. This podcast is titled "You Will Never Be Good Enough for the Wrong Person in Your Life." You will never be good
Okay.
enough.
Yeah.
It's because that person ain't ready, and they ain't qualified to have you, but you keep trying to force something that ain't ready. They haven't fully developed or grown into what God intended for them to be. And because it feel good to you, they got that feeling again, that emotional state of mind, opposed to you looking at it in an intelligent uh intelligent way. So we find out the hard way when our feelings is crushed. And
Mm-hmm.
we find out the hard way after they have came and stole all our energy, our time,
Yep.
and our damn money. Good Lord.
Yep.
Then robbed the cradle and spent off on us. But now God said there's always some good in bad situations. So what you did,
Mm-hmm.
what you have learned is you could see the same energy when it comes your way. Get thee away from me, Satan.
But ultimately, God was trying to teach you to love yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that was the ultimate lesson. And that's why I always tell myself the things that's happened in my life, they didn't happen to me, they happened for me. So you got to tell yourself that you have to have discernment over your life, meaning you have to understand that everything happens for a reason, and it's all meant to put you on your path where you're intended to be.
Mhm. And if you're not listening, God will make sure He makes sure that you'll hear him, because
Right.
I was getting dreams dreams on dreams on dreams of
Mm.
just, man, it get deep.
Yeah.
So definitely to the point where okay, something ain't right, because I'm having dreams about mystery people, whatever, and then it turns out that oh yeah. So if you're not listening, and I wasn't listening for a few years, and he just
Mm-hmm.
kept showing me until I was like, you know what? Okay, I get it. You gotta go. You gotta go.
Hey, that's powerful. God will talk to you. He will
He,
definitely talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to respond. You know what I'm saying? Some people love to, continue, love bumping their head.
mm,
And sometimes God uses abuse to whoop you into submission as well.
Mm-hmm.
So understand how God works. He ain't always saving. He killed people. And then he said, I'm gonna allow you to wallow in your vomit. And so
Mm-hmm.
your vomit is is your sinful ways. If you continue to stay in that light and do certain things, he's giving you eyes to see and a mind to understand the treatment, and your soul was telling you it don't feel good. This is not it. Yet you continue to stay in it. That's God talking to you. And
mm,
when you neglect that spirit and that energy and continue on down the path saying, okay, it may work out, it may work out, but what what have you put in position for it to work out? Because if you hoping that he gonna change the narrative, it ain't gonna never change. You gonna have to change it because you the one being affected. It feel good to the other person. They ain't gonna never change nothing that they continue to receive for free.
And some people are still slaves. They still have that slave mentality of when the master came in and beat the black man, and then he went home and he beat his wife and kids. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? It was always taught, and it trickled down in generations. You know,
Yeah.
and so it's something that, and a lot, and look at how they were fed then. These are the same people probably eating the same way. You know what I'm saying? The behavior never changed because they just passed it on to the next generation.
That's powerful. Let me say this, not to cut you off. You said something about they eat the same way. Let me
Mm-hmm.
tell you, 85% of your decision making is based off what you eat. Do,
Mm,
do, do you understand how spiritually you connected to the
mm.
to your mind and what you eat?
That's
um
it.
when you eat like a hog, you think like a hog because of the
Mm,
genetic makeup of that hog you consuming, and then your DNA break it down. And this is why they say they teach you on how to sacrifice certain animals, and when you eat the animal, it dies in peace. But we're
mm,
eating we think and act like savages because that's what we consume. And there's genetic biological food that we're consuming. I was looking for something I could show you, but be sure it says you are what you eat. It
mm-hmm.
says that. Be very mindful of the times in which we're living, because a lot of people want to do the right thing but don't know how to do it, because the person who feeding us, who is Satan himself, has um this food is so grafted with chemical weapons in it, it alters the mindset. So you are in these situations and don't understand why you can't get out of them, because the
mm,
chemical imbalance is so terrific that it don't even give you the courage. It blocks the courage nerve in you to
mm,
move forward. So be mindful of what you eat. Snickers is bad. All candy is bad. Meat's got all type of diseases in them, and you wonder why you're so angry and so upset and so disappointed and so miserable and so sad. Man, be mindful of what you consume, because if you consume it raggedy, you won't make righteous decisions. I could promise you that.
Mm-hmm.
Very important. If you start to eat healthy, you will see healthy results, guaranteed.
And not to get too deep, but like exactly what you just said, uh, that also has to do with parasites.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That also like have that effect. And it I don't know, like I said, they get real deep. Like them parasites that they just be sucking your energy and making you feel drained or whatever, and it
Mm-hmm.
stems from what you eat.
Mm-hmm.
True. Did you know that pork has trichmic worms in them? They stand up to the highest and coldest degree on our planet. They are designed to eat out your stomach lining and walk up your
Mm-hmm.
spine into your brain. I want you to Google what I'm telling you. You got to be very mindful
Mm-hmm.
that what we're dealing with and what we were given to, what was given to us as slaves. Did you know wheat and soy combined together as a cancer causing agent? But
Nope.
people go according to taste and not by health. So it tastes good. Mama used to eat it. Grandmama lived this long. Just imagine if she had the knowledge that we have, she would have lived longer. So understand this shit is in the cereal, the milk, the
Mm-hmm.
how we prepare our foods today. So you really got to be mindful of what you consume, and over a protracted, I say, a period of time, it's going to consume you, and you're going to find yourself mad at the world, evil, emotional, and dying all at the same damn time.
Mm-hmm.
So be mindful of what you consume.
And
Please do. Go ahead, sis.
I said, and cleanse your body.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Exactly. You know, anytime you're sick, don't be eating no sugar at all. Don't eat sugar. I substituted. I've been on pork and beef going on 30 years. 30 something years. I've been off all meat going on 8 years, which was turkey and chicken. I don't consume any sugar and in my I substitute sugar for I put honey for substitute sugar for honey. So it's very important to start paying attention to your diet and your immune system, and you would make the right decisions. This is why P. Doctor just told hubby no more candy. Yeah,
Wow.
all diseases live off sugar. All diseases. So if you're dealing with any type of breast cancer, high blood pressure, anything, sugar is the number one killer because that's what entertains it to grow. And
Mm-hmm.
your body is not alkaline at all. So people want to know where high blood pressure come from. See, the body is so beautiful where the body alarms you through a headache. Something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It could be from stress, but it could be something crawling in your body. But your body, that's the alarm that God planted in every human being. Oh, this body is so terrific. And so everything's in harmony but our mind. Let me explain to you. When your arm hurt, your other arm go to console that arm, don't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you hit this left arm, but your right arm comes to console it, but then you jumping in the air. See, everything in the body is working in harmony, but we don't understand that we don't take that same information the body is teaching us. We don't use that same information for our lives. When something is affecting us, your body will react to it. Get away from it. But what we do, we go back to the horn.
Well, the
We go
mind is
right
the
back.
most powerful organ, ain't it?
Hey, it sure is. I could get
Shit.
into them teachers, but that's gonna be powerful. Hey, this is podcast 295. 295 titled You Will Never Be Good Enough for the Wrong Person in Your Life, part one. We're gonna close it up. If you want to close with anything, D, or close with anything, sis. What's your name, sis?
Precious.
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 If we're gonna close out, anything you want to say, I add to. We're gonna come with part two. What's today? What's today? Tuesday or
Monday.
Monday? Oh, see,
Monday.
I got so much business on my mind. Wednesday, we'll be back Wednesday 9:30 p.m. Stay tuned. We coming with part two, and it's gonna get even deeper. Anything you want to leave off, D?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Anything precious you want to say to the
Uh,
people?
no, I'm good. I just have a question though. I don't know if you've done this podcast or if I missed it or if you haven't done it, but I think something that I would like to hear from you speak on is trauma bonding and soul tie.
Say that one more time.
Ooh.
Trauma
Trauma
bonding
bonding
Let me write that down.
And soul
Hold on.
ties.
So are we just speaking on you was just speaking on soul ties.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Man,
saying. You know,
Uh,
we
man,
if you did and
man, that's a deep topic right there.
oh, that's
very deep.
deep. That's spiritual. And they wouldn't even understand that. We got to break it down so the baby could understand it. Okay, she said she'll see us Wednesday. Okay, we gonna wrangle with that maybe on Wednesday, that Friday. We'll
Hmm.
take that topic and wrangle with it. Nevertheless, I want to appreciate everybody. This is so black and so beautiful. You could go get your apparel, so black and so beautiful.com. You could check the new album out on all streaming platforms. The book is coming as soon as I get with D. She waiting on me, and she know me. I be so damn busy doing so many things, but she's so patient and got so much love for me, and I love her to death, man. Nevertheless, the book is coming. Y'all going, and the book is titled "Healthy Relationships Include Uncomfortable Conversations." Y'all stay tuned for that too. The listening party is coming up. I will be doing a podcast when I'm out in Atlanta on the 12th. Y'all stay tuned for that. I'm gonna do it with Brother Ben X and the brothers Rizza Muhammad and everybody that's affiliated in the here at the forums. We purchased the land out there. So y'all stay tuned for that. We're gonna close as we came, and the divine greetings of peace. Their family was needed on our planet now, but there will be no peace until Satan is wiped completely from us. He's unlike the original man. And this is just the beginning of sorrows. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, look towards the European nations. That's where the war will start, and Armageddon will come into play. And Armageddon means armed men gather together for the doom of this world. So we could be out with the old and in with the new. I'll see y'all shortly.
Good
Thank
night.
y'all for listening. I'll see y'all Wednesday.
Okay.
All right.
Peace.
Peace. Peace. I'll see y'all in a minute.